Hey, this is SJ Talks coming back at you with another video. I did a video yesterday. You, I'm gonna link it up to this one. If you didn't get a chance to catch that video, people are happy about the Section 8 cuts. That was the video. I'm gonna link it up to this one. And I was talking about people judging people and looking down on people. I want to expand further on that. I want to expand further. I got some further thoughts on that. And that's what I want to talk about. I want to expand further on that. I mentioned in that video, amongst many other that I've done, that it's not okay to look down on people. It's like as far as the Section 8 situation, I understand, I get it, that taxpayers get taxes taken out of their checks. I had to pay a little bit of taxes myself. And I get it that taxpayers don't want to pay for people, able-bodied people that are able to work and try to do better for themselves. And I get that. But like as I mentioned in the video, a lot of your tax dollars are going for corporate welfare and to fund the rich. But that's not what this video is about. And I'm already mentioned that in that video. And I get it that people are upset about that. And I get it. But on the flip side, is this another excuse for people to bash poor people, or shall I say low income people, and look down on low income people? It's an excuse that they use to bash people, to bash lower class people. And that's not okay. And to look down on people, that's not okay. Because at the end of the day, it makes no difference. It makes no difference whether you get someone that might be working at McDonald's. And because that person is of a particular age and they feel like working at McDonald's is for someone that's a teenager or a young adult, and they see an older person working at McDonald's, even though this person has a job and they are working, they still get judged and they get talked about. Because I've seen comments like that too. Well, why are you of a particular age and you working at McDonald's? Let me tell you something. If I wasn't disabled, I would be working at McDonald's, okay? There is absolutely nothing wrong with working at McDonald's or any other fast food establishment. I shared maybe I didn't put it on my community tab, but I seen it somebody shared it on Facebook. Even if everybody had degrees, everybody had an education, training, and degrees, we would still need somebody to fix our hamburgers and check our groceries out and all the other service industry jobs out there. If I see that again, I'm going to post that on my community tab. Even if everybody had a college degree and training, we would still need someone to fix our hamburger or our sandwich or make our coffee. When we pull up to the fast food restaurant in our cars, those people. We would still need someone to make our pizzas. Because I eat takeout. We would still need someone to make our hamburgers and our chicken sandwiches and all that. Okay? So, what right do you have to look down on someone because they're working at McDonald's and they're a particular age? You don't know what that person's story is. You have no idea what this person's story is. But people are so quick to judge, and that's one of the reasons why I don't share everything on here. As a content creator, I don't come on YouTube and put everything out there. Because I got quite a bit going on. and have had quite a bit going on before. Because life be life. But I don't come on here. It's a lot of things I won't come on here and talk about because people are too doggone judgmental. Sometimes I feel like I want to, like, I see other people come on social media and TikTok, and it's popping fireworks for us past the 4th of July. I decide to wait till I do my video to pop off fireworks, man. Anywho, I see people coming on TikTok, YouTube, venting, and stuff like that. And so sometimes people, like social media as a content creator, it can be very cathartic. It can be very cathartic getting on here and just pouring your heart and soul out, because you really can't talk to people because either people don't want to hear it, or they got their own problems, or people typically don't want to hear you go talk about your problems or what you got going on. In most cases, people don't want to hear it. Me, I'm kind of an empath, so a total stranger can walk up to me and load off on me, and I'll be like, oh, yeah, oh, really? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. But I'm an empath. But everybody ain't like that. Most people don't want to hear you talk about even people your friends, associates, families. They don't want to hear it. You don't want to hear it. So, and that's the case for most people. So most people as content creators say, okay, well, some things I need to get off my chest, and I'm gonna put it on TikTok, or I'm gonna put it on YouTube. But then they put themselves in a situation to where they're getting judged and they're getting scrutinized. I just watched a video today of a 50-year-old woman said that I could relate to a lot of what she was saying. She was saying that she was 50 years old and she's still living in poverty. That's her video. Her topic was something to that effect, and I can relate to that. People were coming on there and in the comment section telling her to get her teeth fixed and do this and get a job, and the video wasn't even that long. She was just talking about how she's had a hard life up to her 50, and she wanted the rest of her years to be, blessed years. And I could relate to a lot of what she was saying. And then people coming in the comment section, get a job and all this stuff, and trashing her in the comment section. I'm like, geez. And this is the reason why. And some people don't have nobody. Some of these content creators don't have nobody. They don't have nobody, that they can talk to. Well, like I said, and even if we do got people, in most cases you can't talk unless you get a licensed therapist. You can either, I talk to myself and I talk to God, and then when I get my therapist, and I will be getting one, I'll be talking to the therapist. But people don't want you. You can't talk to people, so that's why a lot of people feel comfortable with coming on social media and talking about their life. People say they're putting all their business out there, but it's a way that people can get things off their chest. But even if I am going through something, and I'm going through something now, I have been going through stuff. These last 4 years of my life has been rough. Probably the hardest years of my whole entire life, and I've had some hard years. But the last 4 or 5 years, or should I say 5 years, it just seemed like when 2020 came, everything just got jacked up in my life. My body got jacked up, everything got jacked up. So for the last 5 years of my life has been rough. But I have not came on here and shared everything, because although sometimes I feel like I want to, there's a part of me that feels like I want to, because sometimes I feel like I want to vent or just get it off my chest. But I know I'm going to be judged. There's certain things on here that I'm dealing with that if I came on here and talked about, I know I'm going to be judged, especially as a black woman, because we get really dogged on this platform. I know there's certain things I come on here and I talk about, I'm going to get dogged out. I'm going to get trashed. So I don't talk about it. Okay? And that's what I'm saying. That's why folks can't feel comfortable with coming on social media And then because people are too doggone judgmental. Because I know I'm gonna get trashed. I get trashed for my opinions when I come on here express my opinions. I get trashed for that, you know. So and people are so judgmental, and people are so comfortable with getting on their high horse, sitting up on high, and looking down on low and judging everybody for whatever reason. Because maybe you got a nice car. Maybe you drive a nice car. You got a good job. You blessed. First of all, you're blessed. If you have a nice car and you got a good paying job, you got a nice home, you are blessed. First of all, acknowledge that right off the top. You are blessed. You are very blessed to have those things. Everybody ain't got it going on like that, no matter how they work. There's how hard they work. There are some people that no matter how hard they work, they still don't get ahead. And I can relate to that. Okay? I busted my butt going to college, working various different jobs. Went to vocational school. And I still didn't land that dream job. Okay? But I know at the end of the day, it's a reason for, because sometimes our rejection is our protection. But I still didn't land the dream job that I had in my head that I wanted. Okay, that dream career that I wanted. It's not too late. Still got some things planning that I want to do in my head. And as long as God is waking me up every day, I know that there's an opportunity for me to get that. But sometimes some people, no matter how hard they work, they still struggle. They're still struggling. They're still struggling to pay their rent. You got some people that might work 2 jobs and they're still struggling to pay their rent. They're still struggling to make ends meet. And it's not fair to have people looking down on them and judging them because they're at a certain income level. They might need assistance. There is nothing wrong, absolutely nothing wrong with needing help. There's nothing wrong with needing help. And I get so tired of people in this country making it seem like there is something wrong with you if you need help. Back in, let's see, what year was that? I can't remember what year. Was it the 2008? The economy crash? What year was that? Lots of middle class people lost their jobs or whatever happened. And people that never had to apply for food stamps for the first time in their lives found themselves having to apply for food stamps. Okay? Because of the middle class is shrinking. We're gonna wind up having 2 classes in this country. And I think that's Donald Trump's goal, is to have 2 classes. That's the low class and the upper class. It ain't gonna be no more middle class, but that's another video. Because I'm the black female Bernie Sanders. I'll discuss that in another video. There ain't gonna be no more middle class. It's gonna be 2 classes. Donald Trump wants 2 classes. Low class and upper class. Okay? And the middle class is shrinking down. Now, some of these people, life happens. All those people that lost their government jobs, some of them was able to get their jobs back, but some of them didn't. All those people that had those government jobs, now we all know that's the best paying job you can get in this system. You got good pay and you got good benefits. Lost their jobs. Now, I felt bad for a lot of them, because I did a video talking about that. But I wonder how many of those people that were working in those jobs for quite a few years, I wonder how many of them sit up on high and look down on low and judge the poor because they're paying their taxes. I wonder how many of those people did that. All of a sudden, they found themselves in the same situation of the people that they were judging. There's some people that, when you watch this channel called Invisible People, I highly recommend that you go check out that channel. It's a guy that he goes around and he interviews different homeless people. He goes to other cities, but he's mainly does it out of Los Angeles. It's called Invisible People. I highly recommend that you watch that channel. It's a real eye opener. He interviews a lot of homeless people. All homeless people, believe it or not, come from different walks of life. People stereotype homeless people. They think all homeless people are drug addicts, and a lot of homeless people come from different walks of life. He interviewed this one guy, said he was a lawyer. A lawyer. You know how much money lawyers make. But life happened. Life happened to him. I forget why he said why he ended up homeless, but he said that he was a lawyer. He interviewed some people that had master's degrees. Yes. He interviewed people that had master's degrees and were teachers and were working in actual professions, and they found themselves homeless on the streets. Okay? That can happen to any one of us. That can happen to any one of us. And every one of those people have a story. Or every last one of them have a story. They all have a story as to why they winded up becoming homeless. I highly recommend that you watch that channel. It's a real eye-opener. And then it's another one called Street Interviews out of Atlanta. It's a pretty huge homeless population in Atlanta. And he interviews different homeless people in Atlanta, and it's mostly predominantly black people. Every now and then there's a white person thrown in there here and there, but it's Atlanta. It's Atlanta, a large population of black people. But Atlanta has a large homeless population, and then it's some stories on there too. Some stories on there too. Everybody that's homeless ain't it's not drug addicts, and some of them actually had lucrative careers at one time. But life happened. Life happened to where they wound up homeless. And what if these people that's sitting up on their little high horse, you look up one day, like the people that lost their government jobs, they didn't see that coming. They got blindsided. Now some of these people were making good money and they had nice homes, nice cars. They didn't know how they were going. All of a sudden, they didn't know how they were going to pay their bills. And I wonder how many of them sit up on their pedestal looking down at lower class people. So see, we don't know what we're going to have to go through. I didn't expect 5 years ago when I left my job, my last job. Oh, something green is on my neck. I didn't know that I was going to have to stop working. When I left my job, in my mind, I was thinking, okay, I'm gonna go get another job. I applied for to a dialysis place while I put my 2 weeks in, because that job was physically getting too hard on my body. So I applied for this dialysis place, and it's like God was closing doors because my body, and it was a reason for it, because my body was worse than I thought it was. I didn't realize how bad my body was until I left the job. And then I go get my MRIs done, because they don't really know what's going on with you until you do an MRI. Then I get my MRI done and find out I had spinal stenosis and SI joint issues, which is a nerve issue. I can't stand on my feet for long periods of time. It's hard for me to sit for long periods of time. I'll go into more detail in that in another video. And I also have carpal tunnel in both hands. Which, the spinal stenosis and the SI joint issues are very debilitating. I can't walk long distances. I used to be able to walk all the way around the corner over to, yeah. You guys see some of my walking videos I used to do? You see some of my walking videos I used to do? If you look back in my archives, you'll see some of my walking videos I used to do. I can't, you go back and watch some of my walking videos, I can't walk over there no more where I was walking. I can't walk over there no more. Without a walker, I really would have to have a walker to walk that far. I can barely get down the street and back. That's how severe my back issues are. And I never thought that I was going to have to stop working. I was very upset when I found out that I was going to have to start working. All the jobs that I used to be able to do, I can't do them anymore. Okay, and that little college, or that, no, it wasn't little. That college education that I had, it's useless, useless, because I didn't get my bachelor's degree. I got my associate's degree, and that's not worth the paper that it's printed on. It's just a general studies degree, associate's degree. Can't do nothing with that. So I never thought I was going to be in that situation. And I was always the type that wouldn't look down on people because I had always struggled. But I never thought that I would find myself in that situation. Because the plan was to keep working. And then when I found out that I wasn't going to be able to work anymore, I was devastated. You guys have no idea. And so the last 5 years has been rough. Has been physically, mentally, and emotionally rough on me. And I know better. I know better than to be looking down on anybody. I know better than that. And I didn't see that coming. I was blindsided. I didn't see that coming. I didn't see it coming. I honestly didn't see it coming. If somebody told me I was going to be disabled, if somebody told me 20 years ago I was going to be disabled, uh, by the age of 55, I would have been like, I wouldn't have believed it. I wouldn't have believed it. Honestly did not see that coming. So the point is that I'm trying to make is we don't know what's going to happen to us. Some people, be working and doing just fine, and all of a sudden they find out they have a terminal disease like cancer or something like that. I had a cousin, my dear late cousin Eric, had bone cancer. He passed back in 2014. He had bone cancer. And he struggled for many, 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 many years. And he had to stop working. He had been in and out of the hospital over the course, I think, of 9 years. It was so, it was such a huge ordeal, you know. It was really something. And he had bone cancer. And I talked to a lady on my job at the time. I was working at this assisted living. And I told her that, I said, yeah, my cousin has bone cancer. And she said, he's in a lot of pain. Because my cousin was strong. He was a trooper. And he didn't want you to treat him like he was sick. He wanted you to treat him like you always treat him. My cousin was strong. I mean, he was a real trooper. So we didn't really know, or at least I didn't. I can't speak for everybody else, but at least I didn't know how much pain and stuff he was, what all he was, the severity of what he was really, or the magnitude of what he was really dealing with, until I talked to this lady, and she said that on the job, I told her my cousin had bone cancer, and she said he's in a lot of pain. She said he's in a lot of pain. She said my mother had that, and she said he's in a lot of pain. I said, really? She said yes. But my cousin was so strong. He was so strong. And, even if he was hurting, you ask him how you doing, well, I can't complain. I mean, you know what I'm saying? He was so strong. He was a whole lot stronger than, I consider myself a strong person, but he was 10 times stronger than me. He was 10 times stronger than me. And he had to quit working. And his whole life changed. And my cousin was doing well. He was doing good. So we never know what's going to happen. We don't never know what's going to happen. It could be a major illness. It could be a major job loss. That's going to be one day you all right. Everything is all right. And then things can change at a blink of an eye. And next thing you know, You don't know how you're gonna pay your bills. You don't know how you're gonna manage. I've been there, and it's rough. God made a way, and thank God I got two loving sons that was able to help me. Not every mother can say that. So stop looking down on people. Stop judging people. Stop looking down on people. Stop being happy if somebody lose their home. Stop being happy about it because you pay your taxes. Yeah, I paid a little taxes, and when I say it wasn't that much, okay, $300 and something dollars. But in my mind, it's a lot of money. But you know what I said? I want those tax dollars to go to working families. I want that money to go to working families, to people that need it. I don't want it to go to corporate welfare. No, of course, the government's going to take and do what they want to do with it. I wanted my money to go to working families. That's where I wanted my money to go. But you don't never look down on folks because you never know what situation you're going to be in. You don't know. We don't know from one day to the next. If you got a nice home, nice car, whatever, you are blessed. You are blessed. And you better hope and pray to God that you continue to be blessed. We got to thank God for our blessings, and we got to pray and ask God to help us to continually not be sitting up there praying for more stuff. You're supposed to be praying and thanking God for what you already have. We're supposed to be grateful for the basics. The basics. Oh, I'm going to pray to ask God for that car I want. No, you pray to and thank God for the car that you already have. And if you see that you are a good steward and being grateful for what you already have, then he will bless you with something bigger. That's how that works. Because there's so many people out here that was where you're at, and they found themselves homeless without a job. So we are to never, when I say we, I'm talking about me too. We are to never look down on anybody for any reason. For race, religion, or... I spent 16 years in a Jehovah's Witness organization. And the ex-Jehovah's Witness is a whole sector here on YouTube of ex-Jehovah's Witnesses. We call it waking up. But I don't look, the people that I know that's still in the organization, I woke up. But the people that I know are still in the organization, I don't look down on them because they haven't woke up, so to speak. I don't look down on them and think I'm better than them because I woke up. That ain't loving. Because I know how bad indoctrination can be. Okay? I realize that. So, you know what I mean? You don't look down on anybody for no reason. I don't care what the reason is. Because one day you might look up and find yourself in the same situation. Because life happens to everybody. Life happens to everybody. And we have no business looking down on other people. We have no business judging other people. We ain't got no business doing that. And that's what I wanted to say. I wanted to expand further on that. Be nice in the comment section. Hit that like button and that share. Share this video. Share it. It's a good message. Share it. I want you guys to share it. Until the next video, I'll see you guys later.